Hello my friends, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk a bit about modding. I will offer you 3 options of 3D wrap to improve your driving experience with the CAMMUS hardware. If there is something that CAMMUS received a lot of criticism for, it were their shifters on the C5. Very small shifters, very light, very fragile, and then it just needed some improvement. And that is what this mod of 3D wrap does. It improves the shifters drastically. Installation of it all is not that hard. I was able to do it in, I think, 20 minutes that I was finished with the shifters, which is already a long time, seeing that I'm not the most handyman out there. So no problems with installation. And once the installation is done, well, there's nothing else that you need to do except enjoy how proper shifters should feel on the C5. The magnets themselves, they offer a very quiet, very precise feeling of shifting. And of course, the length of the carbon allows for 4 fingers to be on the shifters if needed, or just the pinkies with the cutouts in it. This is definitely the best modification that you can do to the C5. Comes in at €25, or in a pack with the GT steering wheel of 3D wrap, it comes in at €100 with the GT steering wheel. And it is really worth considering doing this modification. Another modification that 3D wrap has sent me is their GT steering wheel for CAMMUS. Comes in at €79 and has to compete with the GT steering wheel of CAMMUS itself, which comes in at €49. Now there are a few differences between the 2 steering wheels. First difference is that the frame of the 3D wrap one is open at the top and it is closed at the CAMMUS frame. Another difference would be that the grips are made out of rubber on the 3D wrap and out of hard plastic on the CAMMUS one. Which one I prefer? If I drive with gloves on, I think the rubber one is a bit nicer because you can push in. If you grip it tight, you can really have a lot of grip on it. It pushes in a bit the fabric, the rubber itself. But without gloves, if you drive without gloves, the hard plastic one is better because there will form a lot of residue on a rubber one if you drive without the gloves. A last difference would be that this steering wheel, it is now mounted on my C12, but you can also mount it on the C5. And this is where it gets interesting, because CAMMUS does not have a mod for this to change the steering wheel on the C5. And on the C5, one of the major issues that people have with it is that it just is an ugly steering wheel. And it can get a lot prettier if you have a nice GT steering wheel mounted on it. A problem that I have with modding, and that is something which I'm not lucky with, is that you need to have a bit patience to install stuff and that everything needs to work out. I tried to mount it on my C5, but I had an issue that I could not remove certain buttons. The front buttons, the turning ones, the rotary ones, they couldn't be removed. So yeah, I'm stuck with it on the C12. That doesn't mean that it won't work for you. You just need to be careful if you buy the steering wheel, that you look at the video of 3D wrap first, see if you can unmount everything that needs to be unmounted before you buy the steering wheel. Very important. For the rest, the steering wheel handles pretty nice. I can access the buttons perfectly how I should. The top here, yeah, is also good. Shifters are well placed also. So it's a very, very nice addition. So 3D Wrap came out with a modification for both the brake and the accelerator of the C5P pedals, which are the budget pedals of CAMMUS. The modifications come in at €35 per pedal or €60 for the pedals in a package. What they do is for the accelerator, they will make towards the end of the accelerator curve, they will make it less strainful on your muscles, so it will be lighter to go to stay in the full acceleration. When we look at the brake, there you also have it is more difficult, so you have more brake force that you need to apply, more force that you need to apply to get the brake force, and towards the end there is a biting point where you feel that you are at the end of your braking. These modifications are, I think, a bit more aimed at the professional, are the more serious drivers than for those like me that are just drive for fun. What I miss a bit on the brake is that there is not that much configurability options to increase the brake force that you need to apply. I like, when I drive GT, I like my pedals to be a little bit more stiffer, that I don't have that much travel on the brake, and this is not possible with the modification that 3D Wrap offers. However, when I look at the price, €70 for the pedals, and then €35 for the brake mod, I do think you get a very nice pedal kit for a very democratic price. The installation of it was a bit more difficult than I anticipated. And this is because, well, there is a different configuration that you can apply. You have like modern and more classic braking and acceleration patterns, but the mechanism itself, well, it just didn't want to work with me, and I cursed a lot while getting it together. So when you buy these, don't expect a plug and play system. You will need to fiddle a bit with them to get them just right. Of course, this is always fun to fiddle, so I wouldn't necessarily count it as a bad thing, but I do warn you, if you are not handy, keep it just in mind, watch the installation video first and see if you are up to doing this. In all, as the first mod that I tested, I am convinced that the braking itself is a real improvement. The throttle, yeah, I didn't have that much issues with the standard throttle, to be fair. I just had the issue that they both felt very much the same. Now this is different whether if you buy only the brake mod or if you buy both of them. You will feel a difference between both of the pedals when you use them. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had something from this video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.